NAU Club Baseball. They only have one more game series against ASU before the end of their season. What can we expect from these Jacks?
The Jacks are coming off a great weekend after they won their series against the University of Arizona Wildcats 2-1. The first game the Jacks won was one of the closer games of the series, beating the Wildcats 3-2. Then in their second game of the doubleheader, the Jacks mercy ruled the Wildcats, beating them 10-0 and ended the game in 5 innings. Senior Danielle Casey had 3 RBIs to help lead the Jacks to victory. In the third game, the Wildcats came back wanting revenge against the Lumberjacks, and they got it. The Jacks have a couple games left this season, and we'll see how the rest of it turns out.
I agree. I think this upcoming series against ASU will be a tough one to beat for them this year. Last year, the Jacks beat them 2-1. However, this year, ASU is coming off a 10-2 record, tied with GCU for the first in the conference. I think the Jacks will really have to work hard in practice this week and next in order to come out with the upset. As for playoffs, I really do not see them going due to the low record and being ranked 5th in conference standings. Well, moving on, high school softball season is also ending soon. Michaela, how are the Lady Panthers and the Lady Eagles looking playoff-wise?
Well, the Flagstaff Eagles have had a rough season this year. They started off on a 5-game losing streak and are now on a 3-game losing streak late in the season. The Eagles' overall record isn't too hot, but their conference record of 4-5 gives them some hope for the playoff spot. The next 2 weeks of playing are crucial wins for the Lady Eagles if they want to keep their season alive. Switch you on over to the Coconino Panthers. Boy, have they had an incredible season. They struggled at the beginning of the season, losing 3 of their first 3 games. They then turned things around for the better. The Panthers are recently on a 3-game winning streak, and it couldn't have come at a better time. This is a relatively young team being made up of mostly underclassmen, and they are stepping up. One player who is standing out is freshman shortstop Brooklynn Wong, who has 14 hits and 7 runs this season. I think the Panthers have a great shot to make the playoffs and have a very good run in the playoffs.
Well, there are still a few more games to go for the regular season, but I also see the Lady Panthers going far into playoffs, not just this year, but in years to come due to the young team. Staying in the high school level, but moving over to the tennis courts, how do you think the high school tennis teams will end their season?
The Coconino Panthers are having a historical season so far. The Lady Panthers just won their first city title 6-3 against Northland Prep Academy. On top of this incredible win, the Panthers also beat rivals the Flagstaff Eagles. This is historical because the first time in school history that the Panthers have beat both Flagstaff and Northland Prep. Adding on to this season, the Panthers also tied the school record for most wins in a season. Senior Kaylee Baker had a great win in her doubles match 8-1 against Northland Prep. It's going to be fun to see what this team will do when the playoffs roll around. Moving over to the Lady Eagles, they have struggled this season. They started off the right way with a win, but then fell in a 4-game losing streak and haven't really come back from that. With 2 games left in the season, it isn't looking too good for the Eagles. Their playoff chances very dim, but we will see how they will bounce back next year.
This young Panthers team has been very impressive this year, and helping to lead to a turnaround for the Panthers are a pair of freshmen, Olivia Larson and Taylor Rowan. The duo has been dominating in both singles and doubles competition, with help from upperclassmen like Faith Dabb and Kaylee Baker. The Panthers team is dangerous. They have already brought home the city title and tied the school record for wins, and I think they are putting together a team that can be competitive for a long time. Well, let's move over to our last topic for the night. NAU track is coming off a big weekend in Tucson where they proved they were a force to be reckoned with. Michaela, what can we look for from the Jacks going forward?
The Jacks have just been dominating this season in track and field, and this weekend is no exception. They had some tough competition this weekend down in the Dirty T, competing against some top teams like Arizona, Oklahoma State, and Wisconsin. During the field event, 3 Lumberjacks brought home the victory. Brooke Anderson won the women's hammer, Adam Keenan won the men's hammer, and is now 3 for 3 in wins in the outdoor season. Shanice McPherson also won the women's long jump. Keenan is currently ranked number 2 in the nation for men's hammer throw. Another big name from this weekend is Sean Collins, who won Field Athlete of the Week with fellow Lumberjack Shanice McPherson. Junior Ashley Taylor was also awarded with Track Athlete of the Week, so big congratulations to these athletes. There's 5 weeks left until the Big Sky Conference Championships, and the Lumberjacks are hungry to be back-to-back champs, and I think there's a high chance they will win based off what they have shown us so far.
The Lumberjacks sure are having a phenomenal season, and I cannot wait to see what is in store moving further.